Do you know what to do if you lose your passport while abroad on a trip? In this video, I'm going to show you what you need to do to get you back on track with your passport. Today, I'm going to talk to you about what to do if you lose your passport on your travels. Now, I have a little experience on this. I got my passport stolen in Mongolia, so I had to go through the whole process. As much as it was a pain in the butt, it's perfectly fine. You know, there are steps in place to help you out if this happens. If you lose it, you get it stolen, whatever it happens to it. But you want to make sure that you know a few things about going into this, because I was unaware about some things, but it was able to be worked out, no problem. Now, first you want to make sure that it is indeed lost or stolen. So once you have determined that it is completely gone, you want to call your consulate in the country that you're in. Now, if you don't have this number, you want to easily Google, say I'm in France, you want to type in the Canadian consulate in France, and it'll come up, and you just choose the consulate that is near you. Sometimes there's just one, sometimes there's none, and you have to go to a different consulate, but it will tell you what needs to, where you need to go. Next, you want to then call the consulate and let them know that your passport is lost or stolen. They will then walk you through everything that needs to get done. There are a number of different options depending on what your future travel plans are, when you're planning on leaving the country, and also a few other things. So you want to make sure you tell them everything and they'll walk you through. Now, next, you need to have a few things to get done. You have a whole list of things to get done. First, they're going to get you to fill out a new application for a new passport. Now, if you've ever filled out the passport application before, you know it's a pain in the butt. It's a huge application, and there's certain things that you need to have on it. First, you're going to need to go out and get new passport photos. So you're going to have to find a place to do passport photos, and make sure you get the correct dimensions from the consulate to bring with you. Now, once you have these, you're also going to have someone bring your birth certificate to a consulate or an embassy. Now, this has to be done in person. They will not accept copies. So you have to, I don't recommend traveling with your birth certificate, but make sure you have it at home, somewhere that you know that you can tell someone that you trust where it is, and that they can bring it to the consulate in your hometown. You'll need to get someone to do that. Then you're also going to have 3 people that can verify who you are. Now, again, you're going to have people that you're going to be able to get in contact with. That for Canada, it's people that know you. I think it's either between 2 or 5 years. They've known you for that amount of time, and that they are not relatives. So you're going to need to know those types of people, and they're going to be asking them questions, because the consulate will call them and they will ask them questions. They're going to ask questions like, what color is her hair? What color are her eyes? Where does she live? What's her address? So those types of questions. So they're going to have to answer those. Next, you're going to also have to pay for, I think it's a guarantor. So when you're there, when you're at home, you usually have someone to sign off on your paperwork. Obviously, you're not going to have that person in the country that you're in, so you're going to have to pay someone to do that. The consulate will help you sort that out. And then you're going to have to figure out your flights. You may have to change your flights depending on what's going to be used. So sometimes they can issue a temporary passport, other times it's a travel certificate. Just depends on what your future travels are and how quickly you're going to need it. Some countries do not create passports in the embassy where they are, and they send them out, which was what happened to me in Mongolia. My application and everything had to be sent to Beijing. So all of that took a lot more time. Now you just want to keep in contact with them. They will most likely put your passport on hold and put the number and everything on hold just in case it gets turned in, and then they will start the application after a little bit. I think it went through about 2 weeks, 1 to 2 weeks, because I was on a tour in the middle of nowhere, so I wasn't able to get into the consulate immediately anyways. So you just want to go in there and you want to make sure that you are who you are. When you also are back in the city, as if you are not in the city where the consulate is, you're going to have to drive and get to that city because they will have to see you in person. You're going to have to fill out a whole bunch of forms. You're going to have to sign some forms that your passport is indeed lost or stolen. And you're also going to bring any picture ID that you have with you. I would recommend that with your picture ID, I would recommend carrying a couple different pieces, and don't carry them all in your wallet or your purse or your bag. Spread them out. Leave one in your hotel room in your luggage, and one in your purse, and one in your wallet, or something along those lines. You want to spread them out so you do actually have one piece of photo ID. Also bring your photocopies of your ID as well. You should have a photocopy of your passport, your driver's license, and if you have a care card type thing that has a picture on it. So have those printed out. I also keep copies of them on my phone. So there you go. It is not the end of the world, but it is just a pain in the butt and something to just add a little stress to your trip because you're going to be having to fill out all of the information. For your future trips, be sure to download and get my free trip planning starter kit. I'll leave the link below. You can sign up for that. And if you have any questions, comments, feel free to reach out to me or add a comment down below. So I hope to talk to you guys again. Bye!